First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, Yahweh, the true name of the Father, Yahweh Shai, name of the Son, through the Holy Spirit, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who continually push us and encourage us in this faith. Shalom to the Akim, who are fellow laborers in this faith, building the spiritual house of David, the tabernacles of David, by pushing this word, by loving the brotherhood in charity and in all honesty. This is the year of Karagma 2019, and this lesson is going to be focused on updates on the cashless society, coming in with the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, which we've been pushing, starting with the apostles for decades now, So hopefully this lesson is edifying, through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to the Akim out there. Alright, so the first article I want to bring out is from Public Finance International that was posted today. Right, it says the move to a digital cashless world. It says Simon Rensk looks at whether state-backed digital currencies are the future and cash a thing of the past. So money itself is changing, IMF Chief Christine Lagarde said in a speech in November last year, addressing the Singapore FinTech Festival. She said in 10, 20, 30 years, who will still be exchanging pieces of paper? Electronic payments are becoming the norm. Signs now say card only in many shop windows, and we can pay for low-value goods with a simple tap of our card, even our phones, thanks to a range of mobile apps. And the idea is to move from these plastic payments or these phone payments to something that's insertable in your hands. In the last RFID chip update video I did, I brought out, another brother's brought out as well, how Sweden, the citizens in Sweden are now exchanging physical cards, plastic card payments, for an implanted microchip. So they're now using the microchip in place of their debit card and credit cards, right? So this is why this cashless push is happening, Ultimately, it's so that the mark of the beast with your RFID microchip can be implemented worldwide, right? In the UK, cash still accounts for just over a third of all payments, but this is predicted to fall to 16% in 2027, according to UK Finance, the trade association for banking and finance sector. In Sweden, cash has been virtually eliminated. Only 2% of transactions made in the economy are now in cash, according to Swedish central bank Riksbank. Right? It's another point I wanted to bring out. IMF research, which explored the idea of a digitalized money, has also suggested the demand for cash is decreasing, while awareness is growing for virtual currencies such as Bitcoin. It says in its report casting light on central bank digital currency, says digitalization is reshaping our economic activity, shrinking the role of cash and spurring new digital forms of money. Central banks have been pondering whether and how to adapt, and of course that's what they're gonna do, Central banks are gonna adapt digital currencies to replace cash currencies, right? It says unlike cryptocurrencies, digital currencies are issued by a central bank, which would have the same value as cash currency and could be spent on goods and services, but would likely use some sort of digital ledger technology such as the blockchain, right? And there's another part here that's very interesting that I wanted to bring out. It says central banks would retain a sure footing in payments, right? So the banks don't want to be excluded, So no, the idea is to create a digital version of the cash currencies that now exist. For example, the euro or the US dollar or the krona that's in Sweden. The idea is to create a digital version of those, So another point I wanted to bring out as well. It says, let me read from this paragraph. As most digital currency transactions would be recorded on a single centralized ledger, the central bank or government will be able to see where money is flowing to, which could help tackle corruption, a blockchain consultant tells PF International. A digital ledger where you can see how money flows in real time would be a very fascinating thing for a government, because they would spot illegal transactions and financial activity. He says, so this is the idea, yo. Even in Jamaica here, we have the national identification system, which is going to be rolled out this year. You know, the idea is to create a more open system, yo, a system that is truly digital and that can truly be centralized and that can truly be transparent, yo, right? So the idea is that in a digital ledger, a government will be able to see how money flows in real time, right? So everything you do will be tracked, yo. Right now we have what's called a digital identity, which everything that you do online, whether it's a social media account, your search history, what you do on YouTube, if you upload videos, if you just watch videos only, you know, if you pay bills, what online bank accounts you have, you know, the people that you talk to, you know, the type of videos you watch, the type of research you do, all these things form a part of your digital identity, and that's what's being pushed now, right? The idea is to link that digital identity with your financial assets, yo, and that's what the next article is going to go into. I'll post the articles for in post production, you know, so brothers can read it. The other article is something that was brought out by another brother. It was posted on December 24th, 2018 in Forbes Online, Forbes.com. It says, beyond plastic, why a cashless society should be a cardless one. Right? It says a better version of a cashless society should be built around people's funded, decentralized digital identities. So the idea, right, is to have a digital identity, which we already have a digital identity, but now to connect that with our payments, yo. Right? Let's just bring out a few parts from this. It says, you'll find few people in the world of payments who would disagree with the idea that we are moving unstoppably towards a cashless society. Across markets and locations, evidence suggests that this trend is occurring with increased speed. This is hardly surprising given the advantages of a cashless society brings not only to consumer wanting to make fast payments anytime, but also for governments to see. You see how much they're pushing governments and regulators who wants to eradicate criminal and illicit activities. A lot of people especially in the Jamaican society, you know, and it's worldwide because corruption is not just a Jamaican phenomenon. But especially in Jamaican society, a lot of people depend on these illicit activities in order to gain a daily living, yo. All these things are going to be cut out, yo, when we have a truly cashless society, which is linked to your digital identity, yo. And that's where the RFID microchip truly shines, right? It says, however, while I certainly believe that going cashless is a good thing, I do hold some reservations about which path we take to get there. So the idea is to move away from these cards that we're using, yo, and use a truly digital platform, yo, for all our payments, yo, for all our verification and for all our authentication of your digital self, yo, right? It says, in fact, a better version of a cashless society should be built around people's funded, decentralized digital identities. This could be used in apps across devices such as phones, watches, fitness devices, and smart rings. And chips, yo. And that's the next thing, yo. In this way, consumers could verify all their transactions through their existing phone, which already has biometric verification, rather than being restricted to a single plastic card which can be stolen, right? So what is a digital identity? Let's look at what that is. And this is from whatis.techtarget.com. It says, a digital identity is a body of information about an individual, organization, or electronic device that exists online. Unique identifiers and use patterns make it possible to detect individuals or their devices. So your activity online, the things that you research, your IP address usage, your video history on YouTube, the things that you watch and like and post on social media, all these things form a pattern that is used to detect and to identify you, yo. That's your digital identity, right? And the idea is to link this to your payment activity, yo. The idea is to create a cashless society that is beyond plastic, that is linked to know your digital identity, which everybody in 2018 pretty much has a digital identity, yo. Right? It says examples of data points that can help form digital identity include username and password, purchasing behavior or history, date of birth, social security number. In Jamaica, we have a tax registration number, which is now going to be transitioned into a national identification number, right? Online search activities, what you search for on Google, right? Such as electronic transactions, your medical history, right? All these things form a part of your digital identity, right? And ultimately will be a part of the information that goes into the RFID microchip, yo. Because a profile often includes aspects of a person's actual identity, digital identities come with privacy and security risks, including identity thefts. That's where we have a blockchain, yo. That's where the solution for the blockchain comes in, because according to them, it's more secure, right? Let's move on to the next article. Now, this one is from Finovate, from bankingtech.com. It says FinTech Futures, MasterCard and Microsoft in digital identity drive. Now, MasterCard is one of the issuers of those plastic cards that we love to use, you know. So the idea now is to create what is a digital identity, yo. It says according to the duo, verifying identity online is still dependent on physical or digital proof managed by a central party, right? Whether it's a passport number, proof of address, driver's license, user credential, and other means. So the idea is to move away from these centralized identity mechanisms, which are largely physical. Your passport, your driver's license, your proof of address. Instead, what they will use is now your digital self. The things that you do online uniquely identify you, just like how your fingerprint uniquely identifies you. And coupled with your biometric data, right, what you create is a set of digital identifiers that uniquely authenticate you as a person, right? It says this dependence places a huge burden on individuals who have to remember passwords or various identities and are increasingly being subject to more complexity in proving their identity and managing their data. So right now, the idea that you're pushing is that your cell phone will be able to identify you, because your cell phone has data on your search history, your social media usage, your usage on YouTube. All these things exist on your phone. Your biometric data, you know, for people who use facial recognition, for people who use a fingerprint to open your phone. All these things are already on your phone, right? So it says to fix this, two firms plan to launch a service that will allow individuals to enter, control, and share their identity data their way on devices they use every day. Your phone, right? Today's digital identity landscape is patchy, inconsistent, and what works in one country often won't work in another. Microsoft will offer its knowledge in identity technology, while MasterCard says it can provide its know-how that lets card holders carry out digital interactions where there are various parties involved, right? So that's the idea, yo, moving away from these plastic cards to a digital self, a digital identification mechanism, which will ultimately be linked to your RFID microchip, which we always been pushing, is the mark of the beast, written off in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. All right, this is from dailymail.co.uk, and it was posted New Year's Eve. It says, is cash going extinct? Pubs, hair salons, and restaurants are all turning their backs on notes and coins in favor of contactless card payments. All right, so I'm not going to read too much into this. You already know the idea, you know. So let me just bring out a few scriptures, and then we'll just wrap up, right? And of course, we're going to get Revelation chapter 13. You know, we're going to beat the point home. This is the year of Charagma, right? Revelation chapter 13 verse 15, and he caused it up, and he had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, right? The image of the beast is speaking about that old Roman way of doing things, yo, right? That's what's being revived by this beast system, which is the EU and NATO, right? Which is also being pushed on an international level by the United Nations, right? And caused as many as will not worship the beast should be killed. And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And when you go into that word mark, let's get it. When you go into that word mark, it's the Greek word charagma. It says a stamp or imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead and the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. That's rubbish, right? Thing carved, sculpture, graven work, right? And if you go into the root word, let's go into the root word. It says a scratch or etching, right? The root word is karax, which says a pale or stake or palisade. And if you look up what a pale or stake is, all right, let's look it up. Pale or stake. Right, that's a pale or stake, yo. Right, see, sharp at the edge. Right, and that's exactly how these these what do you call them again? The name is slipping me. That you used to inject the RFID microchips. Syringe, right? The syringe, right? So you can see that the syringe shaped the same way, yo. Right? It's sharp at the edge, yo. Right? Just like a pail or stake, right? So that's the word karax, yo. And if you go even deeper, to go to the roots of karax, right? See if I can get it. All right, so this is grapho. It says to write with reference to the form of letters, to delineate the letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material, to write with reference to contents of writings, to express in written characters, to commit to writings, right? So pretty much it's going into written information, which your digital identity is all that information that's on you, that's going to be put in those chips, yo. So the word itself, you know, tells you what it is, yo. Tells you that it's the mark of the beast, yo. Right? So 2 Corinthians 2:11, right, says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We know the things that the so-called white man is trying to bring to pass. Why? Because the Lord Yahuwah through his Holy Spirit, the Rakah Kodash, and through his apostles and elders have shown us these things, yo. Right? So we're not ignorant. So therefore we go out into the highways and the byways, right, and we prophesy these things, yo. We tell the people of the things that are coming, yo. Right? This is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 1. It says, and he said unto me, Son of man, stand up on thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered me, which is his word, right? And when he spake unto me and set me upon my feet, that I heard him that spake unto me. And he said, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that has rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord. Right? And one of the things is, Thus saith the Lord, a mark of the beast is the RFID microchip, yo. And they, whether they will hear, or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious host, yet shall they know that there has been a prophet among them. So the day is going to come, and is here, right, in this year of Karagma, that all you other camps, all you other Israelite groups, all you people out there are going to know who the real prophets are, yo. Right? Because the Lord is going to glorify his men, yo. He's going to glorify his elect. Right? So I don't want to make this lesson too long. You know, with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to you, Akim. Right? Again, Kalal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Shalom.